Welcome back to our deep dive. If you've spent any time at all tracking AI news this past week, you probably feel like you were trying to read, I don't know, 5 stock tickers at once.
Oh, absolutely. The sheer volume of announcements has been staggering.
Right, we're seeing everything from these huge foundational financial shifts to cutting-edge science partnerships and even new global education initiatives.
It's the kind of velocity where you really have to pause because the entire landscape is restructuring itself. It's not just, incremental improvements anymore.
Exactly. The underlying infrastructure, the hardware, the core investment strategies, they're all shifting just as fast as the new products are rolling out. So our mission today is to try and distill this massive stack of information for you. We want to move past just the headlines and really focus on the strategic moves and the practical applications that define this moment.
We'll be connecting the dots, looking at who's spending the tens of billions, and then how those investments actually translate into the tools and services that are going to change how you work, learn, and, well, interact globally.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with the sheer scale of the investment wars. I mean, when we talk infrastructure, the first thing we have to talk about is Amazon and OpenAI.
Right. The rumored talks.
Amazon is reportedly exploring an investment of over $10 billion in OpenAI.
Which is a number that could value the company at more than $500 billion. I mean, it's a massive amount of capital.
It is. But what's really fascinating here isn't just the dollar amount, is it? It's the strategic shakeup.
Totally. For years, Microsoft has had this, intensely exclusive relationship with OpenAI. They dominated that partnership landscape.
And a deal of this size with Amazon.
Yeah.
It just instantly breaks that open.
It creates a crucial diversification path for OpenAI. They're not locked in. And the reports also indicate the deal includes a commitment for OpenAI to use Amazon's custom Trainium AI chips.
And that's the real insight, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the key. This isn't just about cash. It's about validating Amazon's entire custom silicon strategy. They've been trying to compete with Nvidia and getting OpenAI, the market leader, to commit to Trainium. While that provides immediate, immense validation.
So the whole cloud and AI hardware landscape is measurably shifting because of this.
It is. It forces every player to rethink their supply chains and their pricing. Shrewd move on both sides.
Okay, so OpenAI avoids being locked in. Amazon gets credibility for its custom hardware. Makes sense. But this movement of huge capital isn't just in the private sector. We're also seeing governments get involved at this foundational level.
Right. The U.S. Department of Energy's Genesis mission.
And you unpack that for us.
This is a signal that nations recognize AI as a strategic national asset. The Genesis mission is one of the largest public-private collaborations we've really ever seen.
You've got 24 major tech orgs. I mean, all the usual suspects, OpenAI, Google, Nvidia, partnered with 17 national labs.
And over 40,000 researchers. That collaboration structure is immense.
So why is the involvement of the national labs so critical here?
Because they're tackling problems industry alone just wouldn't prioritize or can't access. This mission is designed to use AI to solve fundamental scientific challenges.
Things like
breakthroughs in nuclear energy, quantum computing, advanced manufacturing. It's moving AI development beyond just consumer tools and squarely into foundational science. The stakes are as high as they get.
So it seems like whether it's public money or private capital, the goal is control of the foundational layers. Does that control extend beyond hardware, though?
Yeah.
Into the software stack itself?
Absolutely. And Nvidia is the perfect example here. They just introduced Nemotron 3.
Which is a new family of open models, right?
Yeah.
Specifically for building multi-agent AI systems.
Exactly. And they made a smaller version, the Nano 30B, available. Now, you might ask, why is Nvidia, the dominant hardware provider, getting into open models?
Yeah, that does seem a little counterintuitive.
Well, it's an interesting move to maintain control. When we talk about agentic software, we mean systems that can manage complex multi-step workflows on their own.
Right, not just answering one prompt, but planning and executing a whole series of actions.
Precisely. By releasing powerful open-source models like Nemotron 3, Nvidia is strategically controlling that agentic software layer. And guess what those demanding, complex workflows run best on?
There's specialized hardware.
You got it. It ensures continued reliance on their chips no matter who's winning the large language model race. It's locking in the entire value chain.
It's a classic move up the stack to maintain control. And we're seeing leadership moves reflecting this too. Amazon just appointed Peter DeSantis to lead a new division focused on AI models, chips, and quantum computing.
And even individual investment is reflecting this focus on complexity. Figure AI CEO Brett Adcock launched the $100 million Hark Lab, which is specifically focused on human-centric AI with proactive reasoning. So the money isn't just going to bigger models, but to smarter, more capable behavior.
Okay, let's pivot from the infrastructure wars to the practical applications rolling out right now, the things that might actually impact you today. Google is making Gemini 3 Flash the new default for search.
Yeah, it's faster, more cost-effective. That's a nice utility bump.
But I think the real-time translation feature is the one that really deserves a closer look.
I agree. They've rolled out a beta that lets connected headphones stream live speech translations in over 70 languages. It's leveraging their new native audio model for speed and, critically, for a more natural conversation flow.
That feels genuinely impactful. It basically turns your headphones into a universal translator.
It just dramatically lowers the friction for cross-language communication. In business, travel, it's the kind of practical utility that suddenly makes the technology feel necessary.
And speaking of global impact, we have to spend some real time on the XAI and El Salvador partnership.
Oh, this one is huge. This sets a massive global precedent.
So XAI is partnering with El Salvador to develop a national AI-powered education program, integrating the Grok model nationwide.
The significance here, it really can't be overstated. This is the first major case of a developing country adopting generative AI at a national education level, a full-scale integration.
But I do wonder about the risks. They're essentially putting their entire education system onto a single proprietary model.
That's the core question we need to watch. The goal is obviously rapid advancement, bridging that global AI divide.
But the risk is relying on one model with its own biases, its own design constraints for something as fundamental as education.
How do they ensure students learn critical thinking and not just, how to optimize for Grok-specific outputs? How this system performs in practice will be intensely scrutinized, and rightly so.
That is definitely a crucial one to monitor. Okay, moving over to developers and enterprise. We're seeing an explosion of specialized tools. OpenAI, for instance, unveiled GPT 5.2 Codex.
An upgraded coding model, yeah, with enhanced cybersecurity and multi-step capabilities. And we also saw XAI release the Grok Voice Agent API.
For building custom speech-to-speech solutions.
It all speaks to this specialization trend. Models designed not for general knowledge, but for very specific, high-stakes tasks.
And that integration is moving deeper into our professional tools. Adobe has integrated Creative Suite into ChatGPT.
That's a big one. You can now do complex edits in Photoshop or Acrobat just by writing a prompt. That really streamlines professional workflows.
But not all these enhancements are so glamorous, right?
No, not at all. Take Mistral, introducing OCR3, a leading document reading model, converting scanned forms or messy handwritten notes into clean, usable text. That's a massive headache for most businesses.
Sure.
This model addresses a crucial, often unglamorous pain point that unlocks huge operational efficiency.
So the goal is enabling AI to move from just suggesting to actually executing these complex workflows.
Yeah.
And Klarna is trying to standardize this with their agentic product protocol.
Yeah, and an open standard for shopping. What that actually means for you is efficiency and security. It gives various AI assistants secure, authorized access to over 100 million products. So your assistant can finally talk directly to the retailer's inventory system without you having to manually authorize every single step. It's moving from conversation to execution.
The agentic future is clearly the consensus.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift from the product floor to the report card. We're seeing AI performance hit some truly remarkable high watermarks. A recent study showed 6 leading models passed all 3 levels of the CFA exam.
And the CFA, the Chartered Financial Analyst credential, is notoriously difficult. It's a global gold standard. To put a number on it, Gemini 3.0 Pro scored a rapid 97.6% on level 1.
That really reinforces that AI is exceptionally proficient at, well, complex, structured cognitive work.
It is, and we also saw Zoom's federated system surpass Gemini on Humanity's last exam just by orchestrating multiple models together.
So efficient orchestration seems as important as the model's raw intelligence.
Orchestration is absolutely the key word. But, and this is a big but, here's where we need to introduce the nuance. The crucial caveat. Research from Google and MIT indicated that simply adding more agents doesn't consistently improve performance.
Wait, really?
Yeah. In fact, it can sometimes hinder sequential reasoning tasks that require step-by-step logic.
So while AI can pass the CFA, developers need to be careful that just increasing complexity doesn't automatically mean better results.
Exactly. The structure matters hugely. It's a necessary engineering check against the excitement of a high score.
And that need for quality control is hitting the mainstream vocabulary. Merriam-Webster named SLOP their word of the year.
SLOP. Low quality, high volume, AI-generated content. It perfectly summarizes the fatigue I think a lot of us are feeling with content saturation online.
HubSpot CEO Dharmesh Shah, he talked about this shift from SEO search engine optimization to AEO.
Answer engine optimization, right. We are now optimizing content for the AI models that answer questions, not just for the human user. But if the source material is slop, the answers the AIs deliver will be contaminated too.
It's a necessary cultural check. And we're seeing the human creative world responding. Over 500 filmmakers and actors formed the Hollywood Artists Creators Coalition on AI.
Focused on consent, transparency, deepfake protection, they're drawing a clear line in the sand about ownership and quality control.
And this cultural pressure feeds right back into the talent war, doesn't it?
Of course. If you want high-quality outputs, you need the best human talent. We saw OpenAI eliminate the 6-month stock vesting cliff to attract and retain top people. They're removing friction.
And the government is reacting too. The US OPM launched the Tech Force Initiative to recruit 1,000 early career AI and software professionals into federal roles. It's a multi-front battle for expertise.
And finally, looking at the longer-term horizon, the Stanford HAI forecast predicts a major shift toward AI pragmatism in 2026.
Meaning
Meaning we're moving past the hype cycle and applying real scrutiny to AI's actual return on investment. The honeymoon is ending, the detailed evaluation is beginning.
So, to synthesize the tension of the week, we saw these colossal capital and infrastructure moves, like the Amazon OpenAI deal and the DOE Genesis initiative.
Securing the foundational layers.
Well,
And at the same time, the focus is clearly on enabling practical, complex AI workflows through agentic software like Nemotron 3 and these unglamorous but necessary tools like Mistral's OCR 3.
and this massive push for execution capability is running straight up against that cultural fatigue and the risk of slop.
And we've seen models achieve expert-level success, passing the CFA exams, yet we also have research saying that just throwing more agents at a problem can actually hurt performance.
The complexity of deployment is very real.
That tension is vital for you to understand. As these global scaled systems like the DOE Genesis mission or XAI's education platform in El Salvador scale up, what human-centric skill beyond just coding or engineering will become the critical bottleneck that separates successful, high-impact AI from systems that just generate more slop? Something for you to consider until our next deep dive.